With all due respect, I'm about to disrespect because Stevie Wonder was the worst concert I've ever been to. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is the first video of mine that you're seeing. Thanks for clicking on my face. My name is JC and I like to do story times on this channel, but more specifically I do this special little thing called Storytime Snippets, where it's basically a compilation of short little stories within a general theme. Now today's theme is about some of the worst concerts that I've ever been to. So I have been to close to 100 concerts. My family and I are super big concert goers. Any type of gift or birthday celebration, we're usually giving tickets to events, and concerts definitely fall within that realm. And now because literally each and every person of my family listens to a different style of music, I have run the gamut of different kinds of concerts that I've been to, and I have had some of the biggest highlights of my life at some of my concerts, but then on the opposite side of the spectrum, some of the most terrible experiences ever. And that's what I'm going to be telling you in this video, are some of the bad experiences at these concerts. So if you like videos like these of just hanging out with like one of your friends, chit-chatting over a sangria at dinner time, then make sure to like this video and subscribe so you can follow along for any future story times that are more tame and mundane and just like we're chit-chatting and hanging out. So with that being said, let's get started on this snippet. So the first storytime snippet I'll be telling is about a concert I went to go see Lionel Richie. Now, that is not to say that it was the worst concert I've ever seen. It's more about what transpired during this concert. So Lionel Richie is one of my mom's favorite musical artists, probably like her top two. She loves Lionel Richie and Barry Manilow. That's on her, that's on her. No judging, no judging. So for her birthday or Mother's Day or Christmas, whatever event it was, I got her tickets to see Lionel Richie at the Hollywood Bowl here in LA. Now I love the Hollywood Bowl. It is easily one of my favorite music venues, and that's because it's outdoor seating and it's kind of like this dome shape. So all of the music gets like funneled back into the crowd. So it's really like surround sound, but also just like very nice and outdoors because it is here in LA, and the concert season is like during the best time of year where at nighttime it's that perfect temperature where all you need is a light jacket, you know? So I love that venue. And another cool thing about the Hollywood Bowl is that it's kind of like bench seating. They're not individual seats. So it has a little bit more of a community feel to it, which is kind of nice sometimes. But in this case, it was not that great because my mom and I arrived and we go to our bench seats and they kind of just have the numbers along the benches. And so we take our two seats and we immediately notice that behind us was a bachelorette party. So I don't know what bachelorette party goes to see Lionel Richie, but again, no judgment here. I guess they were trying to go all night long. Ja feel? So Lionel Richie had some opening act. I don't even remember who it was. Somebody I've never heard of. And the whole time, the party behind us was about 10 women. One was dressed in all white and a veil, and the other girls were all in pink. They were so incredibly rowdy. Like, they had the most unbridled enthusiasm for this opening act that we had never even heard of. They were standing on the benches, cheering, being really loud, really outrageous, and unnecessarily hyped for Lionel Richie. Again, Lionel Richie, who's like in his 60s at this point. Maybe 50s. Sorry, Lionel Richie, I don't know how old you are. So already our experience is being a little bit tainted by these rowdy, like 40-year-old women behind us, because we're like, okay, like, yeah, you can have fun, but also you better not be this obnoxious once the final act comes out. So sure enough, Lionel Richie comes out and we're getting pretty hype. You know, Lionel has some hits, he has some bangers, you know, Dancing on the Ceiling. Ooh, put that in a club, I will be twerking on a wall. Not really, but maybe. And so then we noticed that as soon as Lionel comes out, you know, the headliner, the party behind us gets really quiet. And so my mom and I are like, okay, cool. They got too drunk that now they're kind of on the come down where either they're getting tired or just a little bit more, you know, how like at the end of the night, you're like, all right, I've had enough, time to go. So they peaked too early and we're kind of looking behind us and we realize it's not just that they're tired or quiet, but their bride was excessively drunk. And so we're just kind of like, all right, cool. Now we get to enjoy Lionel Richie without the rowdiness of a bachelorette party behind us. But then we kind of start noticing that all of her bachelorette party, they start like fanning her and they start being like, Jessica, Jessica, like, keep your head up. Jessica, it's okay. And that's when my mom and I are kind of like, all right, she's not doing too hot. Like, this girl is really not doing too hot. So she hadn't passed out, but she had her head in between her knees, her arms kind of like resting on her forehead, just taking deep breaths, trying to tell herself not to throw up. Meanwhile, my mom and I are sitting there going, she's gonna puke, isn't she? She's gonna puke. So again, these are communal bench seatings. They are the row behind us. And we're just kind of like hanging out, enjoying the tunes, listening to Endless Love, when all of a sudden, not only do we hear, but we feel a splash. I would like to apologize. A lot of my videos lately have involved puking, but here's another one. This bachelorette puked all over us. So it wasn't on like our backs or anything, but again, she had her head between her legs, vomits all on the floor, and it splashes. Oh, I'm so sorry, you guys, but this is necessary. Splashes onto like the backs of us. My mom actually was wearing a red leather jacket. It's very important that I tell you it's red for some reason, but it like got on her back. I was wearing like these brown rider boots, and so it kind of like splashed onto our feet. And so we immediately stand up and was just like, what the fuck? What the hell, lady? Like, what's going on? And they were just like, we're so sorry, we're so sorry. Like, she's really sick. Like, we're really sorry. So we're pissed beyond belief. We walk out to go to the restroom, and thankfully both my mom and I were wearing leather or pleather related items, and so we were able to kind of just wipe it off, you know. It didn't soak into any of our clothes, thank goodness. But we are furious. We're like, what the heck, this is so stupid. What do we do? Like, I don't want to go back there. Our seats are now covered in hurl. It's a weird word. Hurl. So then we're starting to head back to our seats, and mind you, the bathrooms are a little bit far away from our seats, and so you kind of have to take like these levels of escalators. So we're on the escalators headed back to our seats, and all of a sudden Lionel Richie starts playing a song, and my mom just goes cold, and she goes, this is my wedding song. This was my first dance song, and I'm missing it because a drunk girl decided to puke all over me. And I was like, no, Mom, like, I'm so sorry, like, hurry, we can go see it. So we kind of like rush up the escalators, and we have to watch Lionel Richie play my mom's favorite song, her wedding song, from the off-skirts of the entire Hollywood Bowl, just kind of like barely watching a screen because you couldn't even see him. And she was so devastated. I've never seen her more mad. My mom gets quiet when she's mad, and she was dead silent. So we watch him sing her wedding song, and then we kind of look off into the distance, and we see a commotion over by her seats. Sure enough, paramedics were taking that girl out on a stretcher. So in the time that we had gone to wipe off her vomit all over us, I guess she had passed out, and enough people in the surrounding area were concerned enough to call the paramedics at this music venue. So she was being taken away on a stretcher, and we just kind of had to wait. Like, we didn't really know what to do. Now, it's also important to note that my mom and I are like the complete opposite of Karens. We do not like confrontation. We do not like causing a scene. So we just kind of like stood off to the side for like a good chunk of the concert because we didn't really know what to do. And then we were able to go kind of back to our general seating area, and we told the person, we're like, hey, that's where our seats are, where that girl's getting taken away. Like, can we just sit in this area for a little bit? Because there were some open seats. They're like, yeah, just sit here for a little bit and it's totally fine. Now, in hindsight, we probably could have caused a lot more of a kerfuffle and gone to an usher and been like, some lady just threw up all over us. I want pit seats down there, front row. I want to feel Lionel Richie sweating all over me to make up for it. And we probably could have gotten something or some like better upgrade of seats, but we don't like that confrontation. And then we also kind of like, dang, that girl actually was like really drunk. I hope she's okay. I think she just needed some water and to relax a little bit. But the rest of the concert was definitely tainted. We did get closer seats in the sense of the section we were in, but the whole concert was basically ruined for us. And in telling everybody about how the overall experience was, we didn't even talk about Lionel Richie as a performer. We were just talking about the drunk group of bachelorettes behind us that puked all over us. So that's story number one of one of the worst concert experiences I've ever been to. So snippet number 2 is a quick one, but it involves our experience going to see Gladys Knight in concert. So again, for some birthday, Father's Day, Christmas, whatever it was, I had gotten my dad tickets to go see Gladys Knight, whom we had already seen in concert before, but it was such a good concert that we're gonna go again. And once again, it was at the Hollywood Bowl. I'm telling you, they just have a really good concert series. It's just a really nice venue. We love going there. But another reason that we like that venue is because it gets us out for the night and going and exploring LA. So from our hometown, my father, my sister, and I hop in the car and we drive to Los Angeles for just a night full of fun. You know, we drive past Hollywood Walk of Fame, we go look at the Hollywood sign, you know, really live it up in LA. We went to dinner at Pink's Hot Dogs, which, if you are not familiar, is a very famous hot dog stand here in LA. They kind of serve the who's its and what's its of Hollywood, all of the famous people. It's just a really well-renowned hot dog spot, so I highly recommend that. And then after dinner, we headed to the Hollywood Bowl and found parking. So we head out, we're starting to walk up to the Hollywood Bowl, and my dad looks at me and he goes, "You remembered the tickets, right?" I did not. Somehow in the excitement of getting all dressed up, going out to dinner, driving around LA, I had forgotten to grab the physical tickets to the concert. Now, mind you, this was probably like 8 years ago where digital tickets weren't necessarily a thing. You absolutely needed the physical copy. Not only that, but once you kind of signed up for the physical copy, they weren't giving you a digital version at the time. So because we did not have the physical tickets, we could not get into the venue. So we're standing outside going, well, shoot. So what we did is right away, we looked up tickets online to see what kind of nosebleeds we could get, because we knew we had seats and we had decent seats. So we just needed tickets to enter, you know? So we look online, we're scouring SeatGeek or whatever it was, and it's sold out, completely sold out. Not even nosebleeds were left available. And we're like, crap, what do we do? So we're walking up and my dad's like, all right, kids, we're gonna scalp some tickets. And mind you, I'm like 16, I'm not a kid, but I've never done this before. So we just have to stand outside and like find one of those sketchy guys in like a trench coat going like, tickets, you need tickets, tickets, you need tickets, I got tickets. So we go up to a sketchy guy in a trench coat, we buy 3 tickets for not cheap at all. My poor father, I got him this gift of Gladys Knight tickets, and he still had to buy the 3 of us tickets because I didn't bring any money. I paid for dinner, sure, but I didn't bring hundreds of dollars to scalp some tickets. So sure enough, each ticket was like, let's say around $80, which was probably face value of what I paid for my tickets. But because it was right before the show, you know, they surge price like the meanie bobinis that they are. And afterwards, we were able to get into the concert and we were able to go to the seats that we knew that we were actually sitting in, luckily. I remember we called my mom and be like, hey, what are our seats? Because we don't remember. But that was just a quick story in the pre-digital age where if you forgot to bring the physical tickets, you weren't getting in. So funny times, funny times. Also, I don't think I ever really apologized to my dad. Dad, sorry that you still had to pay for your own gift, you know? That's on me, that's on me. But Gladys Knight was great. Gladys Knight was great. The third snippet I have for you is about just a generally bad concert, just an overall not great concert. And with all due respect, I'm about to disrespect because Stevie Wonder was one of the worst concerts I've ever seen. Now, hear me out because there is a reason for it. So during this time, my friends and I were going every year to a music festival called Life is Beautiful. It is in Las Vegas, and it's one of those where it's like an outdoor music festival. But because it's in downtown Las Vegas, you end up staying in a hotel and kind of walking there, and you can go back and forth like between the hotel and the concert, which was really cool. So we had been doing this concert like once or twice, and it's one of those festivals where they just appeal to everybody. You know, they have rappers, they have techno people, they have country singers, they have pop stars, like everybody you can imagine, just kind of like a people-pleasing festival. And we saw the lineup for this festival, and it was like Mumford & Sons, Kendrick Lamar, Galantis, and Stevie Wonder. And I looked at that lineup and I was like, you're telling me I get to go see Stevie Wonder and all of those other people for like $100? Yeah, sign me up. We're doing that festival. Stevie Wonder is somebody who I grew up with. I love him. I had all of his CDs growing up. CDs, yeah, I know. And he was just somebody that I really looked up to and admired, and I was more pumped for him than anybody else in this music festival. So I remember the day came where it was Stevie Wonder who was headlining for that night. And this is also one of those festivals where they have different stages. So my friends were like, okay, Stevie Wonder starts at 8. We're gonna go see, I think it was Weezer. They're like, we're gonna go watch Weezer or whoever it was, and we'll come back for Stevie Wonder. And I explained to them, I said, I am going to wait for several hours to be front row at this Stevie Wonder concert. I will miss whoever it is. I came to this festival to see Mr. Wonder, so you guys are gonna have to go without me. So my boyfriend at the time and I, we stayed, we were able to get in the front row, and we just kind of had to camp out for, I think it was like 2 or 3 hours just to make sure we had our spot. Meanwhile, our friends went and saw like Weezer or Walk the Moon, whoever it was. We missed out on that, but to me it was worth it because I was there for this man. So he comes out and he's just like, hello, life is beautiful. I am Stevie Wonder and let's play. So I'm sitting there like, oh my gosh, what song is he gonna sing? You know, like Superstition? Is he gonna sing Sir Duke or For Once in My Life? Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, like 10 of my favorite songs are by Stevie Wonder. If he even plays one of them, my life will be complete. So he starts playing, no song in particular, just kind of jamming out with his band. You know, he was on the piano, he would kind of hop between a keytar and a piano and guitar, like all these other instruments, and he's just kind of jamming out and just kind of like getting the crowd going. We're like, all right, this is funky, this is fresh, this is cool. But then he just kept doing that, just kept jamming out, playing no songs in particular, and then finally he gets a song going, and it's a Bob Marley song. I think it was Three Little Birds. He starts jamming out to Three Little Birds, but it was a 12-minute long rendition. So everyone in the crowd is just kind of vibing, but you know, you get a couple shouts like, play Signed, Sealed, Delivered, or Superstition, you know, trying to get them to play something. And I kid you not, you guys, Stevie Wonder did a 2-hour-long set, and he did not play a single song that I knew. And I'm pretty sure the reason for it is because he was probably being undervalued being this ginormous musical artist, you know, playing for a music festival. I don't know if that's fair, because like, you know, nowadays you see Beyonce and Ariana Grande headlining Coachella. But I think at the time for him, it was like, I'm not doing a music festival. Like, that's not my demographic. These are a bunch of teenagers to him. Like, they're not gonna be interested in seeing me. They wanna go see Weezer. But I'm pretty sure his agent probably talked him into it, and he was like, fine, I'll do the show, but I'm doing it my way. So you could tell Stevie Wonder was having the time of his life because he just got to jam out with his professional music bandmates for 2 hours and not have to play any of the hits that he probably is so sick of playing it. But as a person who like loves Stevie Wonder, who camped out for 2 hours to see him, I was so disappointed that he didn't play like a single hit. He didn't like recall any of the nostalgia that I was looking for. So I was pretty disappointed. So it's kind of funny because in the past like 2 videos of mine, I've mentioned Stevie Wonder, and if you haven't seen my really happy Uber story time, I talk about how much I love Stevie Wonder in that. And it's just kind of funny that I think it really does show I was so excited to see him. So I was just a little disappointed because it just didn't live up to my expectations. But I will say, I got to see Stevie Wonder front row for 2 hours, and despite it not being the concert that I wanted, it was still a pretty epic cross off my bucket list. So the last snippet in one of the worst concert experiences I've ever had is kind of a funny one because in the past 3 stories I've told you, it's kind of like the music that I was influenced by my parents that I really enjoyed. And I love all kinds of music. But you guys, something you may not know about me, little snippet into my life, is I was an emo kid in high school. Now, I was an emo kid inside. I did not have the guts to commit with my exterior appearance. And what I mean by that is I was such a fan of, you know, My Chemical Romance, Cute Is What We Aim For, like all of those scene and emo bands. But I never had the guts to cut my hair and do those bangs that started on the other side of your head and swooped all the way across your forehead. That was a look. Never committed to it. Never dyed my hair black or red or any crazy colors. I didn't even wear eyeliner. I didn't do anything that exterior-wise you could tell I was in that music. But I tried to dabble. And what I mean by that is the furthest I could commit was I would wear neckties without a collar, just a straight up necktie around my neck, because that was cool. I would wear vests, and the coup de grace is I would wear skinny jeans paired with Vans. And I had so many different colored Vans and so many different colored skinny jeans. So I really only dressed the part, but I didn't fully commit to that emo goth scene lifestyle. That'll come in handy later. But I did love the music. So earlier in this video, I mentioned that I have been to close to 100 concerts. It might even be more. And the reason for that was because when I was around 15 years old, there was this music venue around my hometown called the Glass House. And the Glass House just had these super, super cheap alternative music concerts all days of the week. So what would happen is I would go with friends to a concert. You know, we would go and see Yellowcard, for example. I've seen Yellowcard like 4 times in concert. But then they have a few opening acts, and you watch the opening act and you're like, dang, I really like this band because it sounds like the band I came to see. I'm going to grab their CD, I'm going to grab some of their merch, and now I'm going to follow them. And then sure enough, they're headlining at the Glass House a couple months later, so you go and see them, fall in love with their opening acts, and the cycle continues. You get where I'm going with this. So between the ages of 15 and 18, I was going to so many concerts, and these concerts were like no more than $20. So I would just go with friends. My mom would drop me off. I'd take my brother or my sister, and we were just going to concerts all the time. It was kind of like my hobby, which is really cool. I kind of wish I went as often as that. I still go to concerts a lot, but that was just truly like what I did every week. So I'm at the Glass House, and I was going to see one of my favorite emo scene bands, which by the way, do you remember Scene? Like emo and Scene were different. I don't remember the difference. I think it was that Scene was a little bit more colorful version of emo. Emo was all about like cutting yourself and being moody, whereas Scene was just like, I'm moody, but I'm having fun. So one of my favorite Scene bands was Metro Station, who you guys probably recognize as the Shake It band, like the, now if she does it like this, well you do it like that. Now if she touch it like this, well you touch it like that. Now if she moves like this, well you move it like that. Come on, shake, 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 oh shake it. That one? Yeah, so good. I loved Metro Station, and so I went to the Glass House to go watch them. So I don a pair of skinny jeans, and let me tell you, I specifically remember these. I wish I had a photo of them. I don't know if I do, but they were paint-splattered skinny jeans that I got from Hot Topic for $45, one of the most expensive pieces of clothing that I owned. But I put on my paint-speckled skinny jeans, a pair of purple Vans, a black vest, which again, so weird, what a look, that was a look for sure. And I had curly hair at the time, and so I remember I wore my hair curly, like down, but not super big and crazy. The problem is when you go to these concerts, and you're kind of like in your weird little mosh pit, you are being bumped and grinded on by everybody, it is hot, it is sweaty, my hair starts to grow. So it started off pretty tame, but it just starts, you know, growing in the humidity of this concert venue. So the opening act goes. Again, I was like, wow, this band's great. They're gonna be my new favorite band, whatever it is. And then Metro Station comes up. And so once the headliner comes up, everybody kind of like starts to push in towards the stage a little bit, you know? And mind you, this is a very, very, very small venue. There's only like 100 people there, let's say. So everybody, despite the limited amount of attendance, everybody is compacted as tight as they can. So I remember there's this girl behind me who she is pushing and she's trying to get in front of me. And she was littler than I am. And I think in her head, she's like, well, I'm smaller, I should stand in front of you. And I'm like, bitch, I was here first, you stay behind me. So she's trying to do that little motion where she's trying to get like her shoulder in front of mine. And I wasn't having it. I'd be like, no, know your place, little one. So as the concert kind of like progresses, we're each starting to get a little bit more like aggressive with each other, to the point where we're like full on like dancing, being like, shake, 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 shake it. But again, I was bigger than her, so I was able to like basketball box her out, and now she's behind me. And that's when she starts like being like, ugh, your nasty ass fro is in my face. Like, get out of here, Frizzo. God, why can't you stand in the back? Like, I'm smaller than you. I should be standing in front of you. And then she starts like being really mean to me. And she starts like swiping at my hair, and she'd be like, ew, your nasty hair keeps getting in my face. Like, move, bitch. And again, I'm like 17 years old. I am not confrontational. And I was like, what the heck? Like, oh my gosh, like now you're just being mean. So I'm just kind of like, hey, do you mind? Like, I was here first. Like, you're fine behind me. You can still see, you know, you just do like a little scattered thing where you just stand and look in between our heads. But she was just being so mean. That's when she starts getting really mean, be like, you're just a little poser. You think what, with your cool skinny jeans that you listen to this kind of music? Like, you're a fraud, you're a frizzy fraud, you're a poser. You need to get out of here. You don't even like this kind of music. Why are you even here, you fat pig? And then she starts calling me like heavy. She's calling me tall, which I'm not tall at all. I'm just taller than her. She's calling me a giant, saying that I shouldn't even be there because I was a poser. And all I kept thinking was like, she's right. I won't even dye my hair black. I am a poser. Who am I? What's going on? So I start having this existential crisis at a Metro Station concert, and she wears me down, you guys. I hate to say it, but she wore me down. She won. I let her in front of me, and I kind of like start going towards the back. And I was a little disappointed in that, but you know, it happens. I'm a sensitive girl, even back then, and she called my hair frizzy, and I didn't like that. But the story doesn't end there, because like I mentioned before, I was going to these concerts like once a week. I was a regular at this venue, not even just for the people. I was just going to this venue because I just enjoyed the genre of music they were playing. So sure enough, 2 weeks later, there was another concert I wanted to go to, and I really had to reflect on who I was as this fake gothic emo scene kid. And I was like, you know what? That mean girl at the concert was kind of right. I'm just a poser. So I didn't wear skinny jeans to that concert. I didn't wear my colorful Vans. I didn't wear a vest. I think I just wore a regular band t-shirt. I think I wore some denim shorts, maybe some Converse. I didn't even wear my hair all big. I went back to straightening it, trying to fit the norm of a regular Caucasian woman just attending a concert on a whim, you know? And who did I see at the concert? Was the mean girl. The girl who called me a frizzy fat pig. And the funny thing is, she didn't recognize me because I was not wearing my hair all big, I was not in my poser outfit, nothing. I walked right past her and I was ready to either start crying or start swinging because I was like, all right, here's my bully, here's my enemy numero uno, time to fight. And she didn't even recognize me. And so the sad part of this story is I think from there, I kind of weaned off of wearing those clothes. I kind of weaned off of wearing my hair curly because she really did hurt my feelings. And I really did think, am I a poser? Because I won't get the bangs that start from one side of my head and going to the other. And so yeah, I think she really did ruined my confidence a little bit, but I still listen to that music. I still went to all of those concerts all the time. I still have an old school emo playlist. I literally just jogged this morning to Welcome to the Black Parade. Ugh, so good. So tragically, I probably will not ever don paint speckled skinny jeans and a vest ever again. It'd be kind of funny though. That would be kind of funny. But those were just some of my storytime snippets of some of my worst concert experiences. Again, it's not necessarily a reflection of the musical artist, but in just a general scope of something that happened at that concert. Unless you're Stevie Wonder. Stevie, maybe I'll just have to go see you at one of your real own dedicated concerts, and then you'll play the hits. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know some of the best or worst concerts you've been to. I'm really curious because I've been to a ton of concerts, but I'd love to hear like who you loved seeing, who you hated seeing, or if something bad happened at the concert that just completely ruined the experience. But I thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in my next story time. Toodles! Guys, you gotta trust me when I say I'm wearing a really cool outfit right now. I have on leather shorts and combat boots, but because of this, I just get cut off and I look like an Olive Garden waitress. More breadsticks for you guys? More Parmesan cheese for your endless salad? I'm cooler than that, okay? I promise. Trust me.